Quartararo. 22 riders, reduced to 20. Green flags, he's got that bike absolutely flying. Marquez did not get away well. One of the Ducatis is up.
First corner, the new Yamaha whole shot device working a dream. The whole shot then got a brilliant launch off the line with Ducati's whole shot device. Ran a bit wide in the first corner.
Spanyol got the start he wanted, the start he dreamed of. But this is now the world champion Marc Marquez, all still there, heading down now into turn 6.
The soft front tyre will not give you straight up and down braking stability. Is that why Vinales and Rossi have gone for it? It's a gamble, you have to say. Will it pay off?
Quartararo, now Miller has got his eyes set firmly on the world champion.
Whoa!
Oh, Maverick
Pushing her early to try and make that gap that he wanted to do. He did it in Sepang. He said he's first coming through turn 8, lighting up that rear tyre. Maverick out the seat.
Marc Marquez were on board with 3. The Vinales will surely lead at the end of lap 1.
Problem now for Fabio Quartararo because Jack Miller. So Fabio Quartararo's got a bit of a conundrum here because Miller and the Ducati
through. Well, Fabio Quartararo was wide again there into turn 1 and he's lost another place. That's now 2 Ducati.
As well now in the form of Andrea Dovizioso. This is the moment on board with world champion Marquez. Vinales. Second one was a big scare. Marquez had to roll out of it. Now then, Fabio Quartararo trying to use that tyre which has thrown the Ducatis a bit of a curveball. He's never going to, though, get by.
Want to learn how to start in a MotoGP race. Don't look at Marquez, don't look at Vinales, don't look at Quartararo. Look at Bradley. 5 places, he's 1 behind Rossi into 11th.
Yeah, Rossi check, he's in 10th place now then. Got in the making, he's the first South African ever to appear in the MotoGP category in the modern years ago. South African fans, you have got a new hero to be roaring on in 2020.
Quartararo, he had to get that done. Brilliantly done, but he's run it wide and... Oh.
Can it get any worse for the factory Suzuki team? Alex Rins out through injury after that horrible... Well, that's come to a premature conclusion. He's on the floor at turn 9. Horror show for Suzuki.
Yeah, it's just a weekend to forget for Brivio.
And in this shortened season, 13 races.
Corner. There was another gap and Maverick said, thank you very much. This is brilliant stuff here from Maverick.
Since mid-November last year, Marquez strikes back again on the brakes into the Pedrosa corner on this lap number 3. Marquez and Vinales exchanged the lead 3 times.
Normally you'd hear an eruption of noise coming into this section of the circuit, but of course you're just cheering for third. Quartararo already now pulling away from Bagnaia in 5th, and then it's Dovi.
Already running a little bit to our expected form.
The corner speed of the Yamaha.
Yeah, late breaker, such a demon on the front end. It looked like, to all intents and purposes, already these tricky on the gravel track. 1 corner further, Esparago got turn 10 for the Aprilia man. So all
really trying to pull away from Maverick Vinales. He knows he's there. He's got to try and break it. Job so far. The big question for Ducati and Miller, though, is can they last distance? A phenomenal way of starting 2020.
The quick check on Brad Binder again. This is Morbidelli, Rossi and Petrucci behind him. Moto2 world champion, one of the best.
So hard for him not to make mistakes in his first ever MotoGP race, but this is class so far.
Do you know what? I think the pace not good enough. If this is Maverick's rhythm early on, I'm going to try and get in response at the moment to Marquez. Mark already, he was lethal in the 3rd sector.
Right there, though, he was out on the outside on the green stuff, and that again a twitch from the rear as well. This is all or nothing for Mark at the moment. This is the moment.
Yeah, and he knows as well, if he pushes the pace, ups his rhythm, he's done the fastest lap of the race more. Marquez is thinking all the time, isn't he, about how he can exploit potential braking. Oh, he's gone! He's gone! Marquez! We lost sight of Marquez.
He stayed on board.
Oh, the rear going into turn 4.
Oh my goodness me, drama here in the opening race. He's trying
air in front of Maverick Vinales. Where on earth had Marc Marquez gone? Off the circuit.
Oh, look at that!
Back to his old tricks. Welcome back to MotoGP, Marc Marquez on the elbow of gravel. Brilliant reactions, brilliant reflexes. Lynn Jarvis can't believe in dirty tyres. He does not care 1 iota.
Simon, your thoughts on that, please?
Terrifying. There's no room. You know, it's very, very similar to the first turn.
Just too over-eager to get away and make the break. I don't know. You can ask me on board.
I don't know. I mean, that can be a career-ending corner there. That's in 16th, and he's now trying to get through the points. He's made another error there. He's struggling.
Erratically of injured Ducatis. Now then, opportunity knocks for Maverick Vinales to his title contenders and rivals Alex Rins, not even in the race, injured. And Mark cat-like reflexes of the world champion.
He's not human. No. He's not, honestly, he's not human. I'd see Marc Marquez out. I can tell you, their ears are pricked up in a big, big way.
Now is, how's that soft front tyre going to hold up for Maverick Vinales?
I cannot believe what we've witnessed already in this short time. That was true stages of this 2020 season. My goodness, here comes Fabio Quartararo. He wants to hold off. Brilliantly done from the Frenchman. Yamaha are 1-2 again. Quartararo.
Line cut to the middle of the track, so Jack Miller couldn't try and blitz by him again with the superior. He's had about 12 kilometres an hour over Fabio Quartararo. That's worrying for him, he said, going to of that front tyre. What can you say? Ridiculous, outrageous. He's down. How does he do it? It's just astonishing.
I'll tell you something, already, after a few mistakes, made it up to 14th place, so there's points on offer. You're going to see...
Everybody else might as well pack up.
Just pack up and let's just call it a day there. He is a lead. He's pushing so hard to try and get away. Simon.
Guys, the other thing, to compose himself before he hit the gravel, and he controlled it in there as well.
Filthy, dirty tyres as well. There's nothing the guy can't do on two wheels.
Well, I mean, we'll be looking at
the saves, but you can put that one right up there.
Do you know the fascinating fact now, Matt? He's not going to be forced into trying to go for the 37s. That's the only thing that's in his advantage now.
Tumbling down the tower.
No. That would be a terrible shame. He was going. Where has Brad Binder disappeared to? This Maverick Viñales looking for his first victory in MotoGP. Marc Marquez, and he's cutting the gap to those ahead of him as well.
Well, he's the fastest man on the scene. He's going to be gobbling up Leccaona, Petrucci and Oliveira very, very quickly. Now look at this.
The pace has been slowed down to the late 138s.
And this is because Maverick's thinking about preserving.
The problem is, Matt, is it brings all these guys into contention. I mean, the likes of Miller, Bagnaia, we're in shot here for a podium. Valentino Rossi's struggling a bit. There's a big gap between...
At the moment, he's been able to keep Andrea Dovizioso at bay for the whole of this race. It's now 8. He's totally rolled out of it, hasn't he? Totally rolled out of it. Dovizioso's just set his personal best lap of the race. Iker Leccaona.
Can I just say, if this pace remains at mid-130...
And 6.
Is it something? I think Marc Marquez, with the pace like this, could still make the podium. The ride of a lifetime. That's what happened at turn 4.
I'm full of after qualifying that he was torn between the hard and the soft, but so unusual to see. I mean, if it pays off, you look like a genius. If it doesn't...
Here is Maverick out front. This is not squeaky clean. This is not Sepang. And as here, he's not close enough to make a move. And again on the front there, look at that. He's wide in there. And Fabio Quartararo, has he made the big mistake? He's shaking his head there. He's dropped back to 3rd place. Is there anything...
The front after that mistake by Viñales. Miller in 2nd. Marquez continues. They head over the crest down into turn 2.
In MotoGP is Marquez. I mean, he's ridiculous, isn't he? Petrucci.
And look at Quartararo. He's already put a decent bit of daylight between himself and Miller. Miller through could have been worse, because keeping tabs on that top 3. Bagnaia.
There's nothing wrong with that. He was the fastest rider of the top 6 on that last lap.
Well, and this, every time they touch the throttle, look at this. Viñales forks nearly.
For Maverick, you can see there he's using the back brake and everything just to try and get that bike stopped.
The speed of that KTM has always been there right from the start in 2017. What they've not had away in the past, wheel spin city on the KTM in these hot conditions. Normally they've ground, because normally in these track conditions, Esparago fades really.
Here, you just never know. I mean, it's so hard to predict what's going to happen based on what's happened already.
Well, that would be sense. Slightly more moist and cooler conditions, I seem to recall, in 2018.
Just a bit, yeah. 18th place, but something obviously went wrong. He must have gone down and rejoined, you'd think.
Manoeuvre around. Valentino Rossi has done a 1:39.3. That's on par with. So at this stage of the race, Rossi has actually found some pretty good rhythm.
He's up in 9th place at the moment. That's really good from the Red Bull Tech 3 rider.
Well and truly hit the brick wall. He's down to the 140s now, Smith. He's plummeted down. He's doing low 139s himself, which is the same pace as Viñales.
As well. In the meantime, fellow rookie Iker Leccaona's in 12th. He's having a great ride. Marquez, fastest lap of the race, 38.372. He's in. They would need to drop really hard down into 39.
It's a bonus for him just to be in the race at this stage after that moment at turn 4.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Unbelievable. Absolutely. Goodness me. I mean, he's just a genius at that. In MotoGP for the first time since Dovi won the opener, I think, last season. Really like predicting the future when it comes to MotoGP. I mean, look at him. He's up behind Miguel Oliveira here, who's in 9th. Oh, dearie me. Be hearing Le Marseillais for the first time.
Yeah, since what, 19? Marquez at all, he had no choice.
Well, yeah, get out of my way.
There was a big orange and red motorcycle. 5 was his last lap, which makes him yet again the quickest.
View of your top 3 with 13 laps to go. So Whitler is on for second place.
Sorry to say at this stage for Vinales fans, it looks like he dips into the 39s, not as quick as Miller, nowhere near as quick as Quattro. Okay, yes, Fabio Quartararo's on a 2020 bike.
Rossi's same. He's in. Thought he was a goner, and he's just had to witness him go through. Rossi and Vinales
Not getting stopped. And of course, when you're in that group, sometimes when there's a lot of issues as well. Now, Fabio Quartararo is never going to have a better chance. Perhaps a little bit earlier, Pol Espargaro, ruthless, brilliant up the inside, best ever dry race finish. What a ride by Pol Espargaro. That's why Repsol Honda picked him up for next corner and picks off the KTM with the extra horsepower. So Pol Espargaro's got to do all
at the moment. He's finally got into some rhythm. It took him long enough though. Struggled in the early laps, did the.
He can do exactly what the Yamaha needs to do. Just run that real high corner. It's better corner speed and edge grip than the KTM and the Ducatis, but he can't utilise it.
Espargaro really, really wide, and through comes Franco Morbidelli, but he's got the inside line as Pol Espargaro. Marc Marquez, number 93 in 8th place.
Remarkable performance by Marquez. What a recovery. There is Marquez, and just at the top of your picture, Quartararo stretching away from Jack.
Here is Dovizioso now going through on Pecco Bagnaia, and we said that Dovizioso through to the podium.
Funny old game, motorcycle racing, isn't it? June 28th, here we are, 2 years later, on the brink of becoming a Moto. 8 seconds clear of Jack Miller. He took half a second out of the Australian on that last lap. Controlling Vinales back in 3rd. Vinales got nothing for him. He's about a second, he's got his hands on it.
Fabio Quartararo suffered heartbreak here last year when the mechanical got in the way. At the moment, as Matt said, there would never be a better chance for him to win. He was on the podium 5 times last year, the Australian, all of them on the 3rd. That would be astonishing. Pecco Bagnaia is really struggling a bit here now. Last year, now it's the turn of Franco Morbidelli.
Brilliant performances by Jack Miller. We heard pre-race that they had big expectations for him. A very, very fast and accomplished MotoGP rider, Jack Miller. He's given up the go hands now. Surely he's not going to let it slip through his grasp.
Mark's pace, these guys, but in terms of the amount of time left and the amount of time he's eating.
Away from Fabio Quartararo, because it's he who takes the checkered flag first that's your race winner. He'd have been long gone. Long, long gone.
Well, yeah, it's possible, but then of course there's a mark in front of him. It's hard to say, isn't it?
He keeps hitting those mid to high 138s, doesn't he, Quartararo? Eke away from Jack Miller. You can see that's the difference there between himself and Marc Marquez. You surely can't see Fabio Quartararo letting Marc Marquez recover 7 set mistake. Marquez, though, you know, right, he's looking potentially at the podium. Morbidelli, Bagnaia, Esparago and Dovizioso, but right now, with the time he's got in his pocket for Maverick Vinales,
well, it would sting a lot, because he's now right on the tail of Frank. Left here in the opening race of 2020. Marc Marquez, if you're just tuning in,
23.
He was leading this race, and it was here at turn 4 where it looked like he was down his way back through, and at the moment, he's right on the tail of Morbidelli in 7th.
Well, it looks like he's that amazing podium record going. He's going to pick off Franco Morbidelli in the braking zone into turn number 6, so you'd think that Marquez will be making light work very, very soon. Marc Marquez, he takes all the room needed.
Well, this is like a PlayStation game. Bagnaia struggling a little, and Pecco then trying to return the favour.
Well, he loves the psychological walk into the gravel trap at turn 4. Probably thought, well, that's Marquez, we don't have to worry about him for the rest of the race. He's on the podium. Unless he makes another mistake, he's on the podium, because these guys in front of him can't live.
Across the line we go. Let's see how far away. He's only 6 seconds off the lead at the moment. As it stands, Fabio Quartararo is riding beautifully out front. The thing is, Matt, he doesn't have to now push the boat out. He doesn't need to chase low to 130.
He's just dropping them with such ease. He's had some remarks. 12, his last ever Moto 2 race, when he was pushed to the back of the grid for a penalty GP. This is a completely different ball game. If he comes through to salvage a podium here.
They showed a split of only 2/10 that Fabio's losing, you know, because, you know, Fabio's in lead of the race, trying to do everything perfect, to recover something from the race, and it makes me believe that if stage of the race.
Never a more truer word spoken by Simon Cray for Marc Marquez.
You know, you can't really say what more Fabio had in the tank because he can't really afford now to rip away.
Marquez is going to make mincemeat of these guys in front of him. His last lap was a 38.6, so 6/10 quicker than Vinales. Well, it looks like Miller as well is nibbled. Oh, Valentino Rossi, what's happened to him? Front tyres are covered in dirt, that's for sure.
As Marquez here goes through on his teammate for 2020 and Paul Esparago, new teammate for next year. No, you can have that, Mark. And I'll just watch you try Dovizioso. Now, these two are old foes, let's be honest. Dovizioso will not believe his eyes.
So his long and distinguished career, and he's going to have salt rubbed into the experience to have Marc Marquez come by him and then go for Vinales and Miller. Here's Dovizioso out. Vinales takes second place back from Miller. It's all
and surely for the podium. He holds on to fourth place ahead of Andrea Dovizioso. By the way, fastest rider on the last lap in the entire field was Brad Binder.
Sensational with a capital S, no other word for it. What a performance.
Fabio Quartararo is 5 seconds clear with 6 laps to go, but it's this battle. Getting himself back into podium, well, he's in podium contention, back on the podium of 2020. It gets a lot harder to overtake as you go the number 93. It's whether or not they've got anything in the tank to offer it.
Retire. Potential mechanical problem, not the way the World Championship.
Here we go, here we go, into the final corner, he lines it up, he's got the inside, just the podium, and he's back up into third place.
The team love it, you can almost...
He says, okay, well, you can work for it. Block pass, that was a bit sweet. Marquez.
You just knew that was coming. You pass Marquez, you better make it stick, because you know at the very next... Looks like resistance is futile for the Australian. Marquez then now starts as well. No points off of the day for the Spanish rookie. What's the gap?
Well, he's just eating up about 3 of those tenths in that corner alone.
At this stage of the race.
This is just simply a stop. Second place here. At the very start of this race, Maverick Vinales was the man. He's forced his way through. And it is when you get Marc Marquez angry, this is what happens.
I have to take it dishes. I mean, I'm almost speechless. Gobsmackingly brilliant.
Go. He's 4 laps away from securing his first ever MotoGP victory.
And you know what? Please no, please no.
And do you know what would make it worse? Is if he sees P2. Oh! All right, because that's a fast one.
Is that 4 again?
It's 4 again. It's caught him out once more. Let's have another look at this then. Front was twitching a bit. He was thinking about having Vinales. Last time he high-sided, of course. What was that at the end of last year? Blimey,
God,
that's a whole downs, trials and tribulations of this race for Marc Marquez.
How many more talking points do you...
Oh, he looks hurt there. He looks really hurt.
Yeah, he does. I mean, is there something wrong with that right arm? Previous with shoulders, hasn't he?
I cannot believe this race.
Wow.
It's extraordinary.
Like that, that's going to hurt.
Guys, you know, it's also sad to... is one of the best performances I've ever seen.
Yeah. He's not. Now, at the moment, though, look at Paul Esparago. All of a sudden, Paul Esparago sees a dry podium. Rose to lose. He's home and dry here with 3 laps to go. What a name at the start of a MotoGP season for the first time in his MotoGP career. Horrible crash. And he got nudged by the bike for good measure as well. His shoulder will...
Sorry sight. Didn't deserve this after a truly heroic performance. Here we go then.
Said that this was going to be one of the most intense and physical battles for MotoGP riders. I'll take anything away from this young man.
Absolutely.
Because this 21-year-old said these guys are all scrapping it out for podiums. They are some precious, precious points. We've said all weekend long, any mistakes could be punished. I didn't expect them to join these guys on the podium. Fabio Quartararo, these 2 laps were 13th, having been 25 seconds adrift. I mean,
deserves
there's
a
so
point.
many.
5 days since we last saw these MotoGP boys going hard at it. We wondered if it'd be worth the wait.
Days to try and get through what's happened
here. You know what the best thing about it all is? We get to come back and do it all again in 7.
Prepare yourself, folks.
Yeah, there's going to be some emotional scenes after this race. Podium as Andrea Dovizioso fires up the inside of Jack Miller. dicing it out. Miller versus Morbidelli. How did Morbidelli stay on board that Yamaha?
Franco Morbidelli, but there was a gap he saw.
It's that typical riding style.
Drove to Lorenzo Dobby, wasn't
from
it?
a few years ago. Exactly right.
See, there, Morbidelli's is. Now, Andrea Dovizioso, after all the pandemonium here at the Andalusian venue, what a damage limitation job that would be for
20. Marc Marquez,
Oh, no,
this is not good. He's in a neck brace and he's holding that.
season would ramp up the pressure, ramp up the intensity to perform. About to be taken to the medical centre in an ambulance. We wish all three of them well. To hear last year when that gear shifter denied him what looked like a second place. Quartararo is about to add his name to an illustrious list of Moto for Yamaha. They can barely watch.
Diego Ghibellini there doesn't know what to do with him.
Absence. Where do you start to pick the bones out of this one?
This team have been sensational.
Fabio Quartararo was born in April 1999. He was the last Frenchman to win a MotoGP race on Spanish soil in Valencia.
Wins his first ever Grand Prix in MotoGP. Ovi is third, Miller is fourth, and Morbidelli fifth. The 21 anthem for the first time in 21 years.
And here they are now celebrating their